There we go. So, okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so is there a possibility to track the activity of students even if they don't participate in the gamification game, you know, like they don't smash the button when they did an exercise? Is there a way to see what they are doing, even they're not pressing the XPs?
Oh, so what exactly do you want to see? Oh, why do you need this information?
I actually, I would like to see who is really watching the videos, how often they log in, for example. Yeah, because some gave me the feedback that they are joining the membership site, but they're not
They are not doing.
this, with the XPs. And I still would like to have an overview where they are, you know.
Of course. So let's explore this. Usually where this would happen is in the experience engine, right? Where the automations happen. For example, what happens when, let's see the triggers that we have in the experience engine. It could be when they haven't logged in for a certain amount of time, or it could be when the student logs in after an extended period of time. You know, for example, no, earn points is probably not what you're looking for, but the two that you can use is when they haven't logged in a certain amount of time, or when they have logged in after an extended period of time. Those are two possibilities. So you can tell the system, if a student hasn't logged in for 2 weeks, then you will receive an email maybe to let you know who is that person who's not attending, or you can create a tag. And then based on that tag, you can do some things, for example, suspending them from the course until they reach to you. I'm just throwing examples there, but you can decide what happens after that. That's one. And the second one is that you can take a look at the student section and filter your students by the course that you want to take a look at, like the students of a certain course, let's say from this course, right? And also, what could it be? It could be their activity period. You could do this either here in students or in their activity feed. So here in the activity feed, you can also see what have your students done. The reason why I'm saying that you should filter them here in students is because you can take a look at, for example, each one of the students and go take a look at their activity and see what they have done, what they haven't done, what emails have you sent them, etc.
For example, here I can't see if they watched a video or not, you know. I only can, I even can't see when they logged in. It's just showing that an email was sent out, for example, or when I tag them, but it doesn't show like their real activity besides the XPs.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, right. Because I wanted to, usually when you have a button, you can add a tag to the button. So when they click on it, you will receive a notification, or, you know, you can tell the system whatever you want to do. And I was trying to see for the video that would happen, but apparently you can't add a tag to the video. So let me see into step 3. Let me see. No. Let me quickly take a look at the help center to see if I find something. Video tracking. There's something about video tracking. Let me see. Transcription of your videos. Does anybody else have, like, you know, like maybe some feedback about what Ishtar wants to do is to track the activity that her students have done or not done? Because you want to reach out to the people who haven't completed certain steps, right, Ishtar? Is that your goal, or what is your goal here?
Yeah, I want to have an overview who is participating really, even they don't press the XP buttons.
You set the time.
Could I say something?
Sure, please.
You could look at this two ways. I want to track people who's participating and doing stuff, or I want to be aware of people who are not doing stuff. Ishtar, which one would you prefer to follow? People who are doing stuff, or you want to track people who are not doing anything?
I actually want to track those who are doing things. I want to know what they are
Okay.
doing.
Okay. Now, I don't know much about this software, but it seems to me it does everything. Brenda, correct me if I'm wrong. Somewhere in it, unless it has been set up properly, will track the actions of your students. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, if they're not hitting the XP, I don't know what happened if they don't hit the XP. If they're not in the XP, which will trigger something else, well, fines will never be triggered. But this is why I was saying you may want to look also who's not doing certain things and set up something to trigger that. So you could look at, it's one coin, but two sides. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my piece.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So great, Ishtar. There's many ways that you can follow the people who are actually doing things. One example could be, let's say that in your whole course, they will collect 22 points, right? 22 XPs.
Mm-hmm.
You could play around with the points in the experience engine and say, okay, so people who have reached 5 or 10 points, you add a tag to them, and then you know that those people are the ones who are progressing in your course, you know? So you have to decide what happens when that tag is added to them. Do you want to receive an email? What is it that you want to happen so you have track of these people?
You know, the problem are not the people who are pressing the XP points. Those I can track. I can see what they're doing. But those who are doing the videos, but they're not pressing the button because they don't like the gamification, you know?
Okay.
That's the thing with them.
Could I add something else? Comes back to what I was saying. You just indicated to me that you can see who is doing certain things. So it's there. So you can actually see that these people are doing the videos maybe, but just don't like, gamification for whatever reason, which is not your fault. So I'm saying then maybe there's something you can set up that would indicate, yes, they watch the video, period. Maybe that could be set up. That might help you.
This is why gamification is a buzzword. What you can do here, if you want them if you want to acknowledge them for doing something, then you can use what they call Easter eggs. So what Marisa does is people need to publish in a Facebook group. So that's a way that you can be sure or certain that an instruction is being followed besides the XP points in the platform. Another workaround that you can do is embed type form or a Google form in the training. So people answer that form in particular, and the form gives them a link or whatever to another page, and in that page is or could be another Easter egg or something, another piece of training, another piece of information, another whatever that only people that that can only be achievable but by people doing the stuff.
Okay.
Could
Yeah,
I?
thanks for your ideas. You know, I thought there is an activity feed I'm missing or something, you know, that is integrated into the site that I can track this. But it seems like this what I want, like an easy way to just see who is watching a video is not possible. So that's fine. I just wanted to know that. And these are great ideas. Thanks, Aristides and Peter, for your ideas.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm curious about tags. I know very little or nothing about tags. Brenda, Aristides, my question to you is this. Am I right to say you can use tags to trigger a particular course to follow or a particular action inside the software? That's the primary use of tags, to trigger something?
Yes, not the primary,
Okay.
but the reason that tags exist is that you can do many things with them. One of
Okay.
those could be to trigger something.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, one of the functions of tags is that.
Okay. In my opinion, if it's possible to use a tag to trigger the fact that the person did see the video, whether or not they click the gamification, I think probably that's the quickest, easiest, most direct way. No disrespect, Aristides, you mentioned two good alternatives. But if you can possibly use a tag to trigger something as they notify the teacher, which is Ishtar, that probably could work. Just saying.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to do here with this one, but I can't put a tag into the videos that you upload in your trainings. I will see if when you put a blog with a video, there's a way that you can put a tag into this button. So when they click on it, you will know that they clicked on it. So let me see.
As far as I know, it's not possible
Yeah,
because
no.
it's one of the main problems learning pages have. They cannot track when the video is it's finished to be reproduced. I don't know how to say it. I think Vimeo.
Completed, when the video is
Yeah,
completed.
yeah,
Watching.
exactly.
Ah,
Watched, yeah. It's not possible to track when the user
okay.
finished to watch the video. Correct.
Oh, I get it. So if it can be done, it just can't be done. So those two suggestions probably is your best route then.
As a workaround, yes.
Yeah, I got you now. Got
Yeah.
you.
Yukai Chao used to put random words in the videos in different time lapses at the beginning, at the center, or at the end of the video. And later, you have to put those keywords in a web page so you can have the piece of reward or whatever. And with the hope that people see the entire video.
Yeah, that's a good one. But either way, Ishtar, they need to go through the gamification, yes or yes. Like they need to click on the completed action in order to move forward.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think pressing a button is even easier than filling out the form, you know.
Correct.
Like
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no disrespect. Can I call you Ari?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. This is an option you can use, but for me as well, I like simple. So if we can go to simple direct, I would probably do the same thing. But coming back to what it can and can do, I am wrong in that no, it cannot do every last single thing. But here's my question, Brenda. For you to progress from one video to the next, am I correct in saying that they have to press XP?
Yes, you need to complete all the actions in order to move forward.
So Ishtar, you need to say to them, guys, from you to go from one video to the next. And yes, I know you have a preference and I don't like gamification, but this is part and parcel of what is built into the software. I have no direct control. So please, could you press gamification? Because if they're going to jump to the next lesson and bypass XP, the question is it possible to set it up? The way I think it was set up, you have to hit XP first to get your points or whatever. So that should take care of the problem right there.
That's actually the thing that was missing. Yeah.
Yeah, once they click it, they can't go further. That's it. And if they have a problem, they explain to them that I don't run the software. This is the best software in the world, and you probably seen this type is good, but I have no control over it. You cannot go further. Sorry. That's it.
Unless you have it set up differently, Ishtar, because sometimes, I don't know, especially in memberships, sometimes some course creators give them access to all of the trainings, regardless of completing the other one. So if that's your case, maybe that's what's keeping them from completing.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
Versus drip feeding it.
Now we found the point. Thank you so much for talking around. That's great. Yeah, that's really, really great. I have to, I will find the corresponding help in the help center, I guess. And otherwise, I will send an email if I don't find the.
Of course, you can play around with it many ways. I don't know if Lucia is going to mention something about this, or is it a different topic, Lucia?
I will be asking a question on this topic. I will not be being helpful.
Okay. So yeah, I will go with you after that. But just to wrap it up, Ishtar, there's, you can log the content for them, and they need to progress in the trainings in order to move to the next one. So that way you are, if that's a problem that they are facing, that's how you can work around it, or simply play with you can play, for example, we have this block that we put at the end of each single training. And here they will be able to see the following trainings. You can simply delete that one and also hide the rest in the navigation bar. So they have only access to going to the homepage or to the all trainings page. And they need to complete each training and go back to the all trainings. Just hear me out, because this is like, wait. You have your single training page, right? So you can make it a way that after they complete all the trainings in this, you will unlock here in the navigation bar, for example, when you edit the content, you can create a link in the navigation bar that takes them to the all trainings, right? But only people who have a certain tag here, show to people with a tag, only people who have completed this training will be able to see the button that will take them to the all trainings page. So only if they complete this, they will see this button that will take them to the all trainings page, and they can complete the rest of the trainings. So you can play with that. So you give them access to all the trainings. They can go to the third one, to the fifth one, to the first one, however they want, but they need to complete the training in order to go back and complete the rest of them.
Okay, but they have to proceed in the searcher 1, 2, 3, or they can start with 3 and then go back to 1.
Yes, they can. If you set it up that way, that they have access to everything, they can go to the all trainings page and they can pick whichever training they want to complete.
Okay, but then they have to stick with that training until they can.
Yes, exactly. They need to complete it in order to find this button that will take them back to the all trainings. And my recommendation is that you let them know, either in the homepage or in the single training, you need to complete this training in order to go back to the all trainings page.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But yes, please play around with it. And if you find yourself stuck, you can always come here and ask us or send an email to support.
Okay, that's great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, Lucia.
Okay, I think most of mine are yes and no questions. So first of all, with regard to gamification and the student customer experience design we have access to, can they determine, and you probably covered this at the beginning of her question, my apologies, can a student decide whether or not to participate in gamification, or are we just doing it?
No, they need to. And with gamification, you mean points?
Do they get to decline to participate in the gamification that I have designed?
No, everyone
Okay.
will go through the gamification.
Perfect. Now, so with going back to her scenario as I entered the room 10 minutes ago, we were at the point where she indicated they did not enjoy the gamification, if I'm not mistaken, Ishtar. And then, so the question became like, to hit the XP button, it gives them the points, but it also triggers movement to progress if we're dripping. And so my question becomes, can another button be placed there beside the XP button? Click to progress without gamification. So because I'm going to be dealing with people in the autism and ADHD community, they can get overwhelmed by the bibbidi bobbidi burps. So I need to maybe be able to have them opt out of it. So is there any scenario, and you don't have to explain how, because I can figure that out later. Is there any scenario under which my ADHD people like myself can decline the sound effects? Is muting their computer the only option?
Yes.
It is the only option.
Yes, let me quickly explore that in the step number, in the course settings. Let me see.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask while you're busying yourself with that, just to proceed so I can get out of the way here. In the navigation we referenced during Ishtar's question, at the bottom block, you scrolled down to, there was a block where it was like the next trainings. Now I know they can be locked or unlocked, right? Just to give them the incentive to click. At the top navigation, when we click to all the trainings in a drip delivery system, will they see all the trainings, or will they just see the ones that have been dripped to them? Or will it be all the trainings with the rest of them locked?
You have the option to customize that. So when you click the all trainings page, you have the option to select what content to show in this box. So all trainings.
So is it completed? Is it by completed?
Let me see. So we have all trainings group, specific trainings, all modules, specific modules, next available trainings. So you can show them the next available ones.
Okay. I wanted to know if they could just go and see the ones they had completed without the ones they had not completed, or maybe just one being the next in another block or something. So I want them to be able to see what they've already completed, because they're going to go back and review and
Sure, they are able to see those, the ones that they have completed.
But we have the choice of whether or not, it's the next training visibility that I'm concerned with. So can the box, because people get overwhelmed when they see the big long list. When people have ADHD, they can be overwhelmed by 20 trainings, and that's how many I have. So I only want them to see the next couple, because they need to manage it. So that's something we can do. We can choose the number of trainings in that block.
Not the number of trainings that you can show, no, but you can say to only show specific trainings, but that's manual work. So this is not the one that we are looking for. If you have, do you have only one module?
I mean,
or several?
some of my stuff has like modules with 10, like 5 modules with 10 lessons. Trainings, I think you call them. So there's like the module, and then there's the trainings that come after.
So maybe, this is the option, next available training. So only the ones that they have unlocked are the ones that are going to be shown here, plus the ones that they have completed.
Next available trainings is that which they have not completed.
Yes, but that they have unlocked. So they will make a training available when they complete. So only training 2 will be available when they complete training number 1. So they will be able to see training 1, which they have completed, and also training 2, which they haven't completed yet, but they have released.
So you can be specific as in one singular next training or all of the next trainings, but there is no middle increment.
No.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. That's all my questions answered. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is a
Yes.
long workaround for the no celebrations path.
That should maybe be a separate topic.
No. It's the to know to have less stimuli for people who doesn't want to press the button and have the celebrations. You have to have 2 blocks, one button that activates the celebration and one button that doesn't activate the celebration. And at the beginning of the course, you can present the option you want them or you don't want them to show, and you put a tag on that group of people, and the blocks should hide or show depending on the tag.
Yeah.
So this is in the onboarding to the whole course or the onboarding to the module?
The whole course.
And we have these with stimuli and without stimuli, we'll call it for me.
That would be
this is
the first
option in the onboarding. And I'm sure that when we're making those buttons, it will be clear how to do that, the way buttons are so fabulously designed here. Because I think, because there's the XP button to get their points.
The XP you cannot get rid of. You have to use them in order to progress. What you can control is if that button specifically triggers celebrations or doesn't trigger celebrations. So you have two different behaviors on the same bucket. So you have you need to have the 2 buckets.
All right.
One
You mean
should show.
choices, right? Options, choices, when you say buckets?
Yeah, the groups that have the buttons, you need to duplicate them.
Oh, okay. I must run. I have a client in the waiting room. I will thank you very much. I'm most grateful to you as always. Ciao for now.
Thank you, Lucia. Thank you, Ari.
Ari.
Yeah. Yes.
Just so I understand fully, you just gave us the solution up front that we've been looking for. In that, yes, there's something you can use to determine whether or not someone, when they progress and click the XP button, there's no noise. It's quiet, in other words.
It's just progress, not celebration.
Right. It's quiet, as in you click it, it is quiet.
No. The sounds are something that you cannot turn off. Sounds and XP points are something that your students need to go through, yes or yes.
So let me back up then.
Yeah, what you can avoid is the celebrations, like the animations that say, hey, congratulations, you completed this training. That's what you can avoid, but the rest, no.
Okay. When you click, a sound comes, but it's just maybe a ding or 2 dings to indicate you get XP point. But the celebration now will not happen. Am I getting it right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, Brenda can tell us if this is true. What you can do is upload a nicer sound for the click, for the activation of the button. Instead of a coin, you could use like a breeze or like a
flat sound, not something high pitch.
Or if you really, like, if your people are just, maybe it's a really serious topic and you don't want any sound, you can simply opt to not have any sounds in your XP points.
Okay.
But all of them and all your students.
I get it. So if I'm being onboarded, I can choose at some point whether or not I cannot choose.
No.
Ah, my
You,
teacher sets it up then.
the administration sets the environment for the course,
Got you.
not the
I
student.
got you. So how do you handle, and you probably did mention it, the fact that some people like and some people don't like the response where the celebration pops up? And I think you probably explained it, but could you go over that again? Because say 10 people come on board, but you realize, uh-oh, I need to put something in place, maybe in anticipation, where this person comes on board, and most people like, but they're the exception now that say 5 out of 10 don't like it. Could you go over your suggestion where these people do not want to celebrate? What is the workaround again? Please remind me.
This is an advanced setting for a course. I didn't think about this until now, but
Yeah, okay.
I can think of another page, this one custom page, and that custom page must add or removes different tags, but it's the long shot that we have.
Okay.
So if I don't want celebrations, I can use that custom page and put a group that says I want or I don't want celebrations. If I press I don't want, I need to add a tag that says,
Yeah, no, we get it. Yeah.
and
So it
that
comes
tag
back to,
must
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
that
Please.
tag must hide all the groups that activate celebrations.
So
However, I believe that's not possible because I'm sharing my screen, right?
Yep.
Look, celebrations are a different section, right? Step number 6.
No,
So the
but
celebrations. Oh yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Ari.
what you need to hide in the training page or in the model page, it's the block that has that has the button.
Ah, I see. So they don't have to go through the actions.
Exactly.
But for example, when they are welcome to the course, the trigger of the celebration is when they first log in. So that one, you need to remove it because everyone should go through that. There's no way that you can tell the system if the trigger, if you add this tag to this person, don't set off the celebration. There's no way to do that. Everyone who first log in the course, they will receive the celebration. And let's say when they complete the first training, if they complete the first training, everyone will get the celebration, yes or yes. So these are.
Can you open the bar? Any celebration. So celebration triggers the 3 dots.
This one? Let me see.
I am not seeing the screen, guys.
No.
Can you see my screen?
I'm seeing you and everybody else, but not the screen.
I can see your screen.
Oh, okay. Don't let me
maybe
down. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
Open the trigger, please.
Sure.
And there was we used an option that says stop this when.
Right, but not in the celebrations. That happens in the automations in the step number 5. And in the step number 5, you cannot manage celebrations. That's why it's kind of.
How a celebration is triggered when. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're
if
right.
you go for this path, like celebrations will happen, yes or yes, inevitably. If you decide, maybe the way that it could work is by points, but everyone will acquire points at the end. Otherwise, they cannot go to the next training. So yes or yes, they will get the celebrations, regardless of tags or anything. It's not something that you can get rid of, unless that maybe you don't set up any celebrations for anyone in your course. What you can do maybe is to create, to duplicate the course, and in one course, you don't have any sounds, you don't have any celebrations, and that's the only way, because in one course, you cannot decide who gets celebrations, who gets sounds. That's just not something that you can do at the moment.
Okay. However, you would not know in advance which students are going to have a problem with celebration. You never know until something happens like, geez, they're not doing anything. Then eventually you find out, they're artistic, etc., so on and so forth. So, having said that, it seems to me that one of the better solution, I'm not disrespecting any of the solution I've heard so far, is set it up so once the person who's on the honor system clicks saying, I've finished watching the video, I've followed the instruction, something triggers the next step without having to go through the triggering of the celebration. Would that work? Because now I realize what I was saying wasn't separating the noise that comes from the ka-ching versus the celebration. Some of that had missed me. I get it now. So it's two sounds you're gonna get, ka-ching, and then if you set up celebration, it comes. So the noise is what is causing, for want of a better phrase, the triggering of the celebration. And as the lady who left, she does not want to trigger the celebration. So it seems to me, once I say, yes, I've completed whatever, you need to somehow set up, and I was thinking tags, but even if you're gonna say, we're gonna bypass the points, you cannot bypass the XP. You cannot go around XP, am I right?
Yes, you're right. You can.
Okay. I'm getting it.
Okay, good. Great. Okay, Susan, please go ahead.
But I want to go a little further on this. As somebody was saying earlier that you could change the type of sound and the type of celebration, so it could be much calmer, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you have a chime instead of the
yeah, we have different options. Like, let me share my screen. My sound. Yeah,
jumping around on the screen, you could just
exactly, nothing crazy.
a sign that goes up and says congratulations, you can move to the next section now. Right,
exactly. Like, we don't have a lot of sound options, but you can upload your own. And we have a different, these are not the sounds of the points, sorry, this is for the celebrations. We have some celebration sounds that are more calm. For example, this nature one.
Perfect.
You know?
Perfect. That probably could be one of the possible solutions. Yep.
Yeah, and for the sounds of the
and if
points,
you don't have a chime in there, I'm sure that something could be found easily online and uploaded, right?
Yeah, of course. You can play around with that, get creative, and not make it super overwhelming for certain people who don't like it, or maybe it's too, I don't know, maybe too fun, but you don't want it to be, super fun.
But yeah, that has to be the same for everybody, right? They can't choose one version versus another unless you have two versions of the course.
Exactly.
Which seems like a lot.
We also have others like this bell. So it's very, low key.
That works.
Or the sparkle, let's see.
Yeah.
You can.
Like going.
But yes, we have options.
Makes me think of going through my iPhone, just that notification sounds, right?
Exactly. We might have one that it's called calm. Let's see if it's calm. Okay. A little too long maybe, but it works,
Okay, the other thing that I wanted to say is this whole discussion about, that the not overwhelming people with the sounds and the celebrations, that makes sense to me, because there are people who have a problem with that. it wouldn't be my choice to have that for myself, but it doesn't bother me either. I know some people it does. But the question that you were talking about earlier when I joined was about, can they take the lessons out of order, right? And it sounded like there is a way to work around that, but it just made me, before you came to that, it made me think about, you know, my background is in instructional design for corporations, for staff training, right? And it depends on what the training was, but sometimes they really have to take things in a certain order in order to understand it, right? Because if they try to take one lesson and they haven't taken the previous one, they're not going to know what it's about, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not the case. You know, sometimes we might have, I can think of examples in some of the courses I created where maybe there were 3 or 4 different short segments that talked about different related topics for a particular group of volunteers, right? It didn't matter which one they took first, right? But our team was so used to controlling the way people accessed things that it was hard for them to get used to, especially my boss would write out the script of what we were going to record for the audio, right? And he would very carefully, you know, talk about, we do this first and then you move on to the next one and this is what you'll see, you know. And then I'd be having to go back through the script and take that stuff out that I didn't have in there to begin with, and he had added it, right? Because he just couldn't quite figure out why you would want to have people take things out of order, you know. And I know XP doesn't seem to be really set up to handle that as easily as the system I was used to working with, but there is some advantage to doing it that way. Again, if the content works in that setting, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because if you're training adults, one of the things that is, now I happen to think this is true for kids to some extent too, but they really talk about adult learners. They want to have some control over how they go through the material. And that's very important to most adult learners. So the fact that these courses kind of, they not only do they control the way things are released and that you have to do these XP things and celebrate before you can move to the, it's like super control, right? But that's combined with the fact that each training is really much more passive than what would be ideal, right? You're watching a video. You're not interacting with the material until you get to the end and click, yes, I watched it. That's not really what's considered interactive training. You know, I know there's not a whole lot that can be done at this point because of the way the program works, but
there's, you know, there could be like other type of actions that, for example, about the forum, right? So one of the actions should be, you need to go back to the forum, go to this space and publish your answer to this, whatever. So that way, you know that they are engaging, that they are actually answering, going through the content. So, you know, there's like a couple workarounds on that, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. But the forum is good. I like that. You know, to me, that's kind of like the equivalent of having a quiz that reinforces the learning, right? But this matter of interactivity and choice is something that, you know, I would sometimes get volunteers going through it and complaining about that they had to click play on the next video when they wanted to just sit back like they were watching a Netflix series, right? And I would have to explain to them, no, I'm not going to take those out, because part of the reason we're doing that is to keep the students more engaged and more active while they're watching the videos, that they can't just lean back and watch 10 videos in a row, you know, without having to click anything. But it's not everybody likes it, but the evidence seems to be that it does help people learn
Exactly.
more if they're engaged with it. And sometimes it might be just a matter of clicking on which of the 4 sections do you want to watch first, right? And but at least people have to do something active to make them
exactly to engage with the content.
To engage with the content. And in Storyline, there are all kinds of tools to create different ways to interact, but it, even if there was an option to like show, okay, here are these next 4 lessons that come up, and let people click on which one they want to watch first, it's not a big change, but at least it's a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, they can choose, so it
gives them a little bit of control.
Exactly.
And makes it a little bit more interactive. I mean, I have to think of some other examples of the interactivity of kinds of things that we did, because, well, one example was we had this layout tool that was called flashcards, where you could have anywhere from 3 to 6 in a block that you could have a picture on one side and text on the other side. And when you would click on it, it would flip from one side to the other, right? So you could have a simple text clue, right? Or maybe just have the image showing first. And then when they clicked on it, they would get a sentence that explained what the principle was behind it, right? So, again, they could do them in any order that they wanted, and it gave them a way to, I guess I would say, to explore and search for the information that they needed, rather than just having it all spoon-fed to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Love it.
I know it's a whole different approach than what XP is using, but what do you think does it make sense for me to like send an email with somebody and
Sure, absolutely. We take a lot of feedback from you. So it could either be on the Facebook group, or you can email Maury as well. It's Maury@experiencify.com, and he will be happy to read your feedback.
Yeah, and I'll have to see if I don't know what I still have access to, since I don't work there anymore, but I'll see if I can find some examples of
Sure,
that could be accessed that use that kind of thing. So yeah, it's, like I said, not everybody likes having to interact. They'd rather pretend they're watching Netflix, but
there's different types of users as well. So,
but the learning science seems to indicate that
there
are advantages to making
Sure. Please send him an email, and he will be more than happy to go through it.
Yeah,
and
I thought about that for a while, but as you were discussing it, I that's where
absolutely
I'm going with it right away. So
sure. Thank you for that, Susan. And sorry, Peter, did you have a question?
I decided to withdraw my question.
Why is that?
It's somewhat irrelevant, because what I realize is that most of the times I expect XP to do everything for everyone. and I realize it's not practical, it's not possible. But there's no harm in someone saying, listen, I have a special interest group, or I have special needs, my clients, so on and so forth, need this. And the best thing to do is bring it to management and say, listen, could you accommodate me? So I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, good. And Ari put something in there. Yes, Susan.
Actually, that what Peter just said makes me think of something else too. I mean, we had a big focus where I worked before on oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it now. Where you have to make sure accessibility, you know, that people who are hearing impaired can read the captions instead of listening to the audio, or people who are visually impaired can listen and get a description of the images that they can't see, right? And all of that takes a lot of work to set up, of course, but and I haven't looked at what's available in XP. I don't know whether you have any, either of those.
We do have a couple accessibility features. It is fully accessible to blind users or those who use screen reader software.
Okay.
And the transcription of the videos, now that we have the transcription of the videos, that's also like adds another option to show the captions for students. But
and the screen,
yeah.
The screen reader stuff can be tricky because it doesn't necessarily work the same way with different systems. So, you know, you have to test it pretty carefully.
Right.
The one other thing that was new to me, I hadn't thought about before, was for people who have physical limitations, they can't use a mouse or keyboard, and that they have to have other ways to work through a screen, which is more important with the kind of screen that I'm talking about, where you had to click on things, right? But even in XP, they have to do that. So they would need some other way to advance.
Sure. And, you know, like constantly we are operating and trying to get as many accessibility features as possible. So that's also something that, yeah, we consider it's very important for Experiencify as well.
And that's something where you would want people to be able to turn that on or off at the beginning.
Of course,
Not everybody wants to see the captions if they're listening.
Of course.
The audio.
Yeah. No, that's totally customizable. Like if they want to see the captions, they can turn them on or off. So that's, hi, Adam.
Hello.
Welcome. Hi. Right. Do you have any particular questions for today?
Me?
Yeah.
Might just be a quick one. We're looking to customize the favicon on the marketplace page. I see where to customize the favicon for login, log out, and courses, but not for global pages. Is there a way to do that?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Global pages like the marketplace, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the marketplace. Where would you like to see your 5 icon?
Up in the browser tab. Yeah, where the Experiencify X appears. Yeah.
Okay, so did you upload it in the basic course info here? Did you change the site icon? And it doesn't show in the marketplace?
No.
Do you have an active account? Yes, of course. Because you could see the marketplace, right?
Yep.
That's funny. Because once you have these here, they should be able to see your 5 icon up here as well. Yeah, that's something that you need to ask support. Because I don't know exactly what's going on. That's probably something that the backend needs to take a look at.
Okay, so setting the favicon in the course should affect the marketplace page?
Setting it up here in the basic course info?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm assuming yes. But if it's not showing in your marketplace, then you should let support know to see if there's a way that you can put it in your marketplace or global pages. If there's another way, like apart from the basic course info.
Okay, I'll check with them then. I thought it was a little odd that like the marketplace serves multiple courses, but in the courses where you would set parameters for the marketplace, it seems a little backwards.
Right. No, yes, please ask support and they will guide you with the steps or let you know if it's possible or not, which it should be. But
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Brenda, I know
Yes,
we have
Peter.
just 1 or 2 minutes, but I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
If I were to write an ebook in PDF format, would I be allowed to put it in the marketplace?
No, not in the marketplace. There's no way that you can put it there anyways.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Awesome.
But you could include it as a handout or download inside of a course, right?
Yeah, sure. Of course. You can definitely do that. Yeah. Yeah. Without trouble. Any other questions that you might have for today? Awesome. Way to go. I'll see you next Thursday then with your questions.
Session today.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me, for your amazing feedback and all your great ideas. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Take care. See ya.
Bye-bye. Tatuna, did you say something? Sorry?
Yeah, I just had a question because remember that last thing that you said you're going to look into me for me? What was it again? The link. Remember the link?
Bonus?
Yes, the bonus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did they respond to you?
No, but I figured it out.
Oh, okay.
What was happening is that you were seeing the training page in the bonus because you added a training inside the bonus. So if you remove the training, the bonus itself will be a page. So let me explain to you. Yeah, so I will delete this bonus.
So I don't need to put a training in there, right?
Yeah, no, you don't need to put a training inside the bonus because it could work as a bonus module. That's why you were seeing the single training page. But if you leave it just like a bonus, it will show up as a page that you were editing, the single bonus page.
Okay, yeah,
That was what's happening.
Yeah. And funny thing is, when I was adding the training, it kind of felt weird to add a training in there, but it was allowing me to do it, so I added it anyway. But yeah, okay,
that's what was happening. It was very simple, actually.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.